As Americans across this country remember 9/11 today, a special training session took place this morning at Fort Sill to honor the events that transpired on 9/11. And good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Melanie Townsend.
And I'm Daryl Franklin. And with a new batch of trainees starting just last week, those at the Post say it is important for them to remember this day.
Ira Washburn was at the training session this morning. Ira, what exactly did they do today?
Those in combat training completed a daunting and scary obstacle, and officials hope those in training have a newfound courage.
This morning we held a moment of silence as the first plane struck to put it in perspective for some of these trainees. Most of these trainees weren't born or they were infants when 9/11 happened.
Following a speech and moment of silence at Fort Sill, those in their first week of combat training set out to complete a challenge. And while rappelling 40 feet down a tower is a graduation requirement, it's more than a physical obstacle.
It's to instill personal courage. It's one of our 7 core values in the Army, to get them to overcome one of their fears.
Senior Drill Sergeant Adam Hartle says the training session could instill the courage for these trainees to do the right thing, even in what seems to be an impossible or intimidating situation, like 9/11.
Those individuals on those flights, Flight 11, Flight 175, 93, that tried to subdue those the terrorists and stuff like that prior to the events that transpired, they had the personal courage to stand up for what was right and to be part of something that's bigger than themselves.
Hartle says since 9/11, those in the Army have been trained to always be aware of surroundings, and if they see something, say something, which he adds could possibly prevent the type of tragedy that happened 18 years ago. Especially on a day like today, we are reminded that the global war on terrorism isn't yet over. Though Americans can and will continue to come together during hardships as we work towards being a proactive country.
That's right. Well said, Ira. Thank you so much.
And very focused at Fort Sill for sure.